How to be alive if you can't do that.
It's not something that you can just make up about yourself. You have to be able to show that you are as strong as you say you are. Especially if you're competing in strongman.
Everyone's saying it was the best table talk I've heard in terms of nutrition.
All right, let's get this popping.
Yeah.
All right, here we are. I just looked it up. Episode 62.
We got it right this time.
Strong and Petty here. We're
Strong, Petty.
Tyler Sigurdsson, professional strongman.
Just so you know who's who in this podcast.
Devin Penner, professional strongman, organizer, promoter, all the stuff that makes the shows happen. That's him. We're here in the Iron Age gym here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the west end of Winnipeg. Coming off of a wet, cold, rainy, but nonetheless great day.
Yeah.
In Tolstoy. I was really impressed with just rattling around that circus dumbbell back there.
That's a lot of noise for 85 pounds.
He's trying to break some of the women's weights. We had an awesome turnout of athletes and awesome turnout of spectators. I was really happy with it. There's probably like 100 people there watching, which is like for a town in Tolstoy that has a population of less than half of that.
Less than 100. Yeah. And Ben was like, it's not as many people. I'm like, Ben, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're aware how shitty it is outside right now, and
Yeah.
this is actually a pretty good turnout. And people were there to have a good time. It was nice. There was like a live band afterwards,
And before we get too deep, I got to eat some crow.
Uh-oh.
Because I bragged last week how we will run that show in under 4 hours, and people who watch our live stream will see that it was over 4 hours.
How long was it though?
I think it's about 4 hours and 35 minutes.
4 hours and 35 minutes.
Now we started 30 minutes late, which we never do.
No, that was like every minute that passed by was like grating on me.
So
I know it's even worse for you probably.
Yeah, we had forgotten a power cord.
Yeah.
For the computer. Literally, the benefit of small town. I knew that some people in town ran to their house, literally in their basement, pulled their computer cords
shout out Kayla Holadrago who went and got it.
And
that was tremendous.
Hook up our power. Then the Wi-Fi wouldn't. They had Starlink, but we couldn't get close enough to the building. They had Ben, that guy had a log carver there. This guy made
it was a real spectacle. It was a big day. It was actually really fun. Yeah.
So we couldn't get close enough to get Wi-Fi strong enough to run the live stream, which sucked, which also slowed down we couldn't run our live score sheet.
Right.
So we had to pivot on that. We went to paper copy and then swapped it over. So by the time, and then pouring rain when we got there. Yeah. I stood up in the rain. So you guys luckily were on the time. I stood up, me and the helpers. So I was soaked all day. Yeah, I was cold.
It was raining all day the day before too. So
it was, but that grass did actually, that was actually
better than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, it was
so
good.
30-minute delay with raining. We got the equipment under the tents.
Yeah.
We had tents rolling in from everywhere to get
covered. Shout out to everybody who just who came in with a their own little 10-foot by 10-foot tent, because we put all those together and all of a sudden we had enough space for everybody to sit under. And it was actually really, really nice.
You pivot with that, get everything dry, rain stops, get everything back out, and that all happened in the hour and a half for the comp, back and forth. So we started 30 minutes late. I got to eat crow because I didn't get done in 4 hours.
Yeah, no matter what it was, we said it was 4 hours and it didn't happen. So
so
we're gonna have to we'll make up for that in Vita and provincials and everything else this year.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
Manitoba Strongest Man 2 will be a good opportunity to run a nice tight show there, because
we're doing that in an hour and a half.
We're gonna subtract that half hour from Manitoba Strongest Man. We're running on a dedicated window to Manitoba Strongest Man and Woman.
Yes.
That day, we're part of a big weekend of festivities there.
Yeah.
So we only have so much time.
Yeah.
Which is which makes me really thankful that we have the history that we do of knowing that we can do it, because it's man, that would be frustrating if you're the one of the guys from Rumble in the Valley and all of a sudden the strongman competition is going an hour, 2 hours longer than they said it was going to.
Yeah.
They would want to kill us.
And there used to be an event in Thunder Bay called Motors and Muscles.
That's right. I did it one time.
And did you? Yeah.
Yep.
And every time I think about Rumble in the Valley, I think Motors and Muscles, because big ass tractors with a couple thousands or thousands of horsepower in these tractors, mixed with big ass dudes and big ass women lifting heavy ass shit.
Big ass weight, yeah.
Yeah. And
the Motors and Muscle Show in Thunder Bay was the first one where I competed against, or the only time actually that I competed against Max Boudreau.
Oh.
When he was still when
he was a bodybuilder.
He was huge, and he was extremely strong already, but he was nowhere near, he barely scratched the surface of what he was going to be able to do.
Yeah, he was switching back and forth at the time he was doing bodybuilding and
I think he pretty much dedicated himself to strongman at that point.
Oh, okay.
But he was up against Rayner, and they had a really fun head-to-head in that one. It was a really cool back and forth that was really fun to watch, especially as a young guy who's just that was my third show, I think. And I was just like, holy shit! Like, you want to talk about throwing yourself in the deep end, like competing against those two guys? It was awesome.
Well, that was my first pro show with Fort Francis, and I was no business being pro show. But I'm like, yeah, me and Will signed up, Will Husarewicz, and then Ben Thompson, and they lowered the weights for me and Ben so we could deadlift. They lowered the weights so Ben could deadlift. That's how early in the career this was.
Yeah.
All right, like they lowered it from 585 for reps. They put a 495 option so me and Ben could get some reps.
Nice.
Like that's how early the career was.
Wow.
And I show up and I'm ready to go, and that's right when Kyle Rayner was really ramping it up.
Right.
Dallas Hogan, John Wade.
Sure.
I don't know if Dom was there.
He would have been maybe just starting.
Yeah,
at that
Luke
point.
Scarab.
Yeah.
Was Ben Ruckstall there possibly? No, there was the other guy who won OSG or OSM, which was OSM was a big deal back then.
Well, that's the thing. I remember when I was like first starting, like OSM. With the way guys would talk about it, you would think that it was like a feeder to Worlds or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was a big fucking deal
It was
at that point.
the big deal. Like,
Yeah.
besides Canadians,
There was some
was
amazing
Canadians,
guys.
Westerns, OSM. Those are the
Right.
three big shows.
Right.
Mind you, we didn't pay attention to a lot of what's going on in Quebec back then.
Well, they certainly had their own scene and everything.
They had their
but-
own scene
but
outside of us.
OSM was one where it was like you said, like just the names you like Rockstall, Luke Scarab, Rayner,
Valancourt.
Yeah, Valancourt. These were all guys that were
Yeah.
just like, you guys are unbelievably strong and in their own league, and they're all living in this same province.
It made no sense.
It was insane. Yeah. But yeah.
Let's drop back to Tolstoy.
Yeah, Tolstoy. Yeah, so we had some real like a lot of awesome performances that really stood out to me. One that I really wanted to mention too was the guys who jumped up a weight class.
Yeah.
Like Deloli jumped up 2 weight classes. Normally he was competing at U90 last year, and he competed at the 120 and 1.
Yep.
And then in the open division, Pat,
Jumped up
who's
2 weight
normally
classes.
a 105, jumps up 2 weight classes.
He was
to
a
the open
U90
division.
when he first started.
Yeah. He jumped up to the open division and just did an amazing job. And both those guys did too. It really, and there was other guys too, like say Emmerdale competed in the 80s,
Went to 90.
did all the 90s weights.
Gord was lightweight master at 220.
Right, did 120, and then and Garrett, he missed weight, so we'll give him the credit anyway that he did the 90 instead.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see these guys not be afraid to test themselves against more challenging weight, against stronger competitors, bigger guys at the very least, right?
And
I
the
guess not
camaraderie was
always
just-
stronger, I guess, but bigger. And like Deloli really impressed me, and Pat really did too, where he.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to understate any of the women's performances, because they did an amazing job too. But we just happened to have these guys jumping around in weight classes on this show, and for how stacked that open division was, Pat wasn't a guy jumping into a stacked division. He was making it more stacked despite being 2 weight classes lower.
Yeah.
He didn't in any way bring down the average of that group because he was a smaller guy.
Well,
you were like, holy shit, this is actually a much harder division now with Pat in
There were, what do we have, 6 in the open? I think
6
it was
or 7,
six. And the top 5 were 5.5 points apart.
Right, yeah. It was a very, very tight competition where the guy who got 5th place, you might think where it's like, oh, he was way down there. But no, it was
just 5 points out of first.
It was a half a point from first and second.
Yes.
So it was it came right down to the last event on that one, which is the mystery event that we did was a sandbag throw for distance. And
if you didn't watch our live stream, that is something to watch.
Definitely check that
Kind of
one out.
anticlimactic for the crowd. I found like after the first couple throws, it was just like, ooh, another bag. Like,
Yeah.
But to watch, because Pat knew that he was behind half a point, and he knew he needed to win to get that point.
Yeah.
And he sent it all he had, and you could hear it on the live stream, him hitting the ground. He knocked the windows off completely.
For sure.
He rolled over to him. He's like, he couldn't breathe. He knocked his window completely. He laid it out.
I was on the commentary, and I was like, there's guys here like say Jeremy, Langelar. These guys are, even Brian's got long.
And you were
limbs.
saying this as he was going to
about
throw.
to throw. I'm like, these are guys who are built to do this event. Pat's not really built to do this event. He's a shorter dude. He's got shorter limbs.
Yeah.
And then he just lets this fucking ripping sandbag go by, and I was like, oh, never mind. Okay, there it is. And it was, and won it on his first throw. Yeah. It was awesome, and it was just good to see him in the open division win. Because I know that he can.
Yeah.
I know that he's perfectly capable of hanging with anybody in any weight class.
Yep.
And he's shown that in Manitoba Strongest Man. He's shown that at the Magnus show, and now he's showing it here. And I hope that, I know that there's more opportunities for the light guys now, and that's great and everything too. But I want to see him do more of the heavy shows and hang with the heavy guys in the same way that we're seeing. So Westerns this year. The CSM 105 is going to be very interesting because the entire podium's gone. We talked about that before with you and me. The Isaac is hurt. get better soon, Isaac. We already talked about that, but get better. I saw you had a surgery, so that's great.
That's good to see. Yep.
Sam Risling and Liam are both doing
Open Westerns.
The Open Westerns. So the whole podium is open for a whole new crop of guys to show that they're the top 105 guys in Canada, and I really believe that Pat has a real stake at that.
He does, yeah.
And there's some amazing guys. BJ Goss is going to be there. Jesse Campbell. These are really, really talented guys.
And Jesse's been a staple in the 105 since 2017.
Yeah, there's some amazingly strong guys that are going to be there. So by no means do I mean that because those three guys are gone, Pat can just walk into even a podium place.
Yeah,
because there's going to be some amazingly talented guys. But Pat keeps showing himself over and over again to be one of those amazingly talented guys.
Yeah,
he's ready to start hanging.
He's
with
gifted
those.
because works hard, and his wife just sent me a video, different than her usual video she sends me. So this one I could talk about, but it was life of a farmer, and it's just Pat sprawled out in the middle of the day on the couch, just snoring. Like I get videos of that guy sleeping all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, kids are jumping on the couch. He's out.
He's out cold.
Sleeping.
Man. Yeah. Well, does he do a lot of his work at night? Is that what it is? Like
no,
like
well,
in
it's
the evening?
seasons. It's seasons for him.
Oh.
So like planting season, then it's like 3-4 weeks of 18-hour days.
Because whenever you see the shit where the guys are like out in this field at like nighttime, is that because it's like cooler?
That's no, just because if rain's coming, you're running through the clock.
Just do it all the time.
So you have a window when you can seed, and some farmers just run 24 hours a day, and they'll just switch workers. But he runs just him and his dad and his brother. Yeah, ripping lines off the tires.
That's what I would be doing.
Yeah.
That'd be the kind of farmer I would be. Just a methed out fucking
So
maniac
now
out there.
the crazy's done, and then now he hauls his crop from last year.
Right.
So like farming's kind of like playing the stock market a bit. So they get priced every day of what the grain's selling for, and then they'll lock in if the price is good today, he'll lock in X bushels. Gets in the truck, and he's got a certain time limit. Like, not that day, but he's got a certain time limit when he's going to haul that grain.
Oh, okay.
Then he hauls it to the mill, so like to the elevator. So it's kind of like playing the stock. He watches the price every day. Oh, that's a good price. So he'll lock in a certain amount of his crop, and so they'll hold crop for a year, 2 years, whatever, just to get right prices. It's kind of cool.
What an interesting life you have, Pat.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
They say it's statistically.
I thought you were just with a backhoe, just working in a garden somewhere, just picking peas or something.
Oh, he takes it from the back like a hoe, but statistically, they say farmers are the happiest in their work.
Well, there you go.
I was reading a study recently, and the most miserable field to be in for
dentistry
employment was doctors and lawyers.
Oh.
Like in terms of happiness
and
reward, and farmers were the happiest.
Well, there you go. Pat's a pretty happy, smiley guy.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
He's always got that little sweet cherubic face that he's got.
Yeah.
Little rosy cheeks. So we'll put a little bow on Tolstoy for the rest of the season here. But thanks to Elsie's for having us out there, and thanks to Blowout Fire and Safety for sponsoring us out there.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of our athletes that came out and really honestly, like I think only Deloli was the only guy who was being bitchy about the weather. Just because that's who he is.
That's just Deloli.
Yeah, he's just a big bitch.
Yeah.
But everybody else,
if they don't find something to complain to me about every comp, I actually wouldn't even know they're there.
But everybody
suck that.
Everybody worked really hard. Everybody really just ignored the weather, went out there, had a great showing. Really, really impressed by everybody, and just thanks to all the athletes and helpers and everybody who was there helping us out. We had a lot of new people coming out to help us.
Whoever you brought from Ireland, what's that dude's name? Jeff. He's coming to
Manitoba's.
Props off to you. I've never met Jeff.
Oh yeah, he's great, dude.
But he fit in exactly the way I run my shows.
Yep.
That guy was a freaking workhorse.
Yep.
And I'm glad we got him on board.
He's one of those guys that he offered the spot, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad you offered that because I knew that he was going to do well.
Between him, Dean, Janaea,
Becca running the camera, which was
Danielle and Gian.
Yeah.
Like Gian's like Danielle had said afterwards. We were talking about helper and stuff and with scorekeeping, and she's like, Gian's like just like a little mother.
Oh, yeah,
like she's just always making sure that I'm fed.
Yeah.
Devin, do you need something? That Danielle's fed.
Yeah.
She's doing the scorekeeping. She's just constantly making sure everybody's taken care of.
Yeah. She has a very a role that she likes. Well, I don't know if she does like to. She likes to fill it, but she does a great job of it. Where
sure she does.
Yeah, she fills that role. That ROLE. She does a great job with it though, and I love you, Jan. Great job.
But we do got to touch on something before we leave Tolstoy in the dust. Podium in the open. Our live stream was wrong and our pictures were wrong.
Right.
So there was, which I'll take responsibility for because it was my temper tantrum. So we had the medley there. Me and Tyler disagreed on something, but we didn't disagree with it beforehand. We disagreed with me
during the event.
me getting very mad at Tyler during the events, and then proceeding to swear at Thrones. And I was hoping the live stream didn't catch it.
Not that I saw.
So that was very unprofessional of me. So I have to apologize to anybody who experienced my little miniature meltdown.
There's a lot going on that day.
Yeah, with the rain, I was running behind, so I got a little hyper, and then we were doing the medley and times, and Tyler's used to run things a certain way, and I'm used to running everything my way because before this last year, I ran everything.
Sure.
So and let's face it, I'm a control freak.
Wow. Are you?
I own a lot of different businesses,
Yeah,
and I'm always in charge.
I guess when you say it, yeah, you are a little bit of a control freak.
I'm a bit of a control freak, and
but it works.
So
it
worked. So we had because of me yelling at I don't think I really yelled at you.
No, you didn't.
I was definitely hyper.
We were going back and forth, and
Yeah.
we're in the heat of the moment where
Yeah.
we're trying to get things done quickly, and we're talking fast and loudly to each other. But I don't think anybody would have walked up
No,
on
and
that
then I
been
walked
like,
over
"Are
the
they
score
fighting?"
sheet because the score sheet there's a mess up, but we didn't catch it then. And then Thrones is like, which is perfectly good for Thrones to say. I'm like, hey, this is wrong. He's like, well, yeah, this is wrong because we're running the comp this way, and you're telling us to run it this way.
Right.
And like, he just threw it in my face. And I
You're
just
like, fuck you,
yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah, and I pretty much responded back like, you're gonna run it the way I fucking tell you type
I will
thing.
fucking kill you.
Yeah,
right here in front of everybody.
And I felt I should not have done that for one. So anybody who heard that, because there are competitors around.
Thrones is right behind
Thrones is right there. I actually went to Thrones after. He can vouch for me. I went and apologized
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I should not have done that and talked to him that way. That's not professional. No. So then what happened, because of that whole jostle, just with him changing scores and trying to quickly roll on the fly,
Right.
Brian's keg time got entered into Bushy's, and Bushy's back.
Switcheroo.
Which actually threw, we had Pat, Langlar, Bushy, Brian, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And it actually changed it to where it was Pat Langlar, Brian, Jeremy, Bushy. So Bushy dropped 2 spots.
Yeah, but Bushy, being the gracious competitor that he is, was like,
He came back to my gym the next day, brought the medal with him. I have a video of him putting it on Brian, shaking his head and congratulating for his podium. Then he's like, it's fine. I already took my pics with the medal. He's like, everybody thinks I got it.
I already took my nude photos with it.
So props to Bushy for being a good sport.
I knew full well that wasn't going to be a problem because Bushy's not that kind of guy. So
and it was two points put him from 3rd to 5th.
Right.
And put Jeremy to 4th. And then, it's just like
that isn't that incredible.
It's so yeah. I have to issue an apology for my attitude and my little temper tantrum.
Right.
And hopefully, I was actually listening to live stream trying to catch if it caught me swearing, just getting.
I didn't hear anything, so I think we're okay.
Human. I know you look at me and you think,
yeah,
I never screw up.
A level-headed, normal guy, but
straight-eyed,
sometimes
straight as an arrow.
Sometimes he gets a little hyped up.
Libertarian. You see what they did to my boy Trump yesterday?
They charged him or something, or they convicted him, or what is it? Your boy Trump, fuck.
Yeah.
So that's Tolstoy. Boom, Tolstoy done for the season. We'll look forward to running that again. Hopefully next year we'll revisit that in about 360 days time, or 300 days time.
Before we move on, Jeremy Wiens Realtor.
Yes.
Let's hit that up. We do have a second sponsor coming, but we're just going to start next week. This week, Jeremy Wiens Realtor. No one realtor in the Southeast. I know. I think Dan Searcy's got some hurt feelings here because he's like, I'm the strongest realtor in Winnipeg. He posted the other day. I'm like, he listens.
I like it.
Yeah.
Dan's actually.
Let's be honest, Dan's stronger than Jeremy.
Probably, yeah. he's joining my gym.
Is he?
So we're gonna have all 3 of the Masters heavyweights competitors out of Iron Age, which I'm very excited about.
Man, this place is just getting old, eh?
Yeah. We're getting nobody young, and all the old
just
guys
55
are
plus sequence here. This is going to turn into assisted living soon.
Yeah, it's you know who always pays on time?
The old people.
Old people.
You damn right.
Yeah, they always pay on time.
They're punctual.
Yep, I've never had an issue with my 40 and over people.
No, you
My
wouldn't.
30 and under people, I'll tell you that right now. I do have an issue with them lots of times. Yeah.
We actually switched all our membership just to automatic withdrawal only.
I do that
because
now too.
Danielle's like, I am done, and I'm bad that way because I'm like, just pay cash. That's all right.
Give me.
And then these people, then Danielle's calling people, and then they're lipping her off, or they're not giving her the respect. If I'm like, just run your race, she gave me shit. Yeah. She runs the gym now. I don't even own a gym.
But it's what I have people who go to this gym from back in our old facility.
Yeah.
That they just pay cash, and that's fine. That's just the way it's always been. I don't feel like messing with that.
Yeah.
But anybody who signs up now, it's not that I don't trust you. It's not that I don't think that you'll pay. I just don't want to play this game, and I don't like dealing with money. Like that's not the part of this that I enjoy doing. I don't like dealing with payments. I don't like getting people to pay money, whatever. So if we could I just have a little app on my phone, and I just put you in there, and it just automatically withdraws every month. And then you and me don't have to talk about money again until if and when you decide that you're going to end the thing. And then that's an easy thing too. And then we're just done talking about money again.
Speaking of money, if you want your commission going to the proper person for your real estate deal,
right? That's right. We have a sponsor, Jeremy
Wayne's
Wayne.
Realtor.
We were talking about him a moment ago.
And I'm not like so. Speaking of Jeremy, because I haven't bought none with him lately, so I feel kind of lonely. I'm not buying.
Yeah, you're isolated from him.
Yeah, I gotta buy something soon. I'm getting itchy. And but like my parents are looking at selling now.
Okay.
So he's gonna be obviously he's selling it. My parents always had a realtor whole life, and they're switching to him. And I'm like, Jeremy, we need to get this house on the market in a week and a half. I got a contractor meet me there at Sunday 8 in the morning to go over this. I'm like, Jeremy, would you come? We need to know what we need to fix to what level. Like, it's just like drywall patching, little things, replacing deck boards, like making sure it's ready because my parents' house is not a cheap house. So he's coming out Sunday morning, 8 o'clock morning, so drive an hour.
Wow.
Well, that's about 40 minutes to my parents' place to meet the contractor, meet me, meet my parents, go over the house. Yeah, let's get all this stuff done just to make sure that the price point's right.
That's a hard-working realtor right there, and that's the
On
kind
a
of man that you
Sunday.
want to have in your corner. Driving out to Devin's shitty old parents' house in a horrible part of the province. No, I'm just kidding.
If you're looking for a place, 7 acres,
there you go.
shop, in the bush, dead end road,
That sounds
two-story
lovely,
house,
honestly.
indoor hot tub room, full wraparound
What?
deck.
Come on, that sounds
Coming
great.
to market in a couple weeks.
That's beautiful. Hit up our boy Jeremy if you have any kind of use for a realtor in your life. If you're trying to buy, you're trying to sell, you're trying to get a shop-style home, as we discussed last time. I remember talking about that. I learned something that day. Jeremy Weens, nobody else. I wanted to get a little bit into. We have actually kind of a list of shit to get through here. We picked the events for provincials.
Hell yeah, we did.
So August 10th, Winkler, Manitoba. We will be hosting Manitoba's SCC Strongman Corp Canada Provincials. You've been qualified. A bunch of people qualified through Tolstoy. A bunch more will qualify through Vita. And then if you rock and roll at provincials, you're on to nationals.
Yep.
Devin, would you like to? We'll go through the events here one at a time.
Yes, we should. We'll list them all off today.
Let's do a little chat.
Yeah.
Do you want? You want to? Yeah, let's do. Let's
Yeah, because we got 5 episodes. We're not that far finished, so it'll drag it a little
That's
longer.
true.
I understand what we're trying to do here, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Here we go. We have. I don't know if you can hear that, but car bench. No, I'm kidding. That's not my
Car bench press. Max Circus dumbbell.
No repeat events. First event up. This is in no order.
Yep.
Conan's wheel.
Conan's wheel. I love Conan's wheel. I
know you do.
I wish that I was doing that one.
Yeah.
Fuck man, I love a Conan's wheel. I love a front carry. I don't love doing it, but I like that I do well in it usually. So
So what we're gonna do with Conan's wheel is it's gonna be about 600 pounds in the hand straw weight categories. You have to pick up, walk 10 feet, drop, wait 5 seconds, let the lactic acid hit, pick up, and whoever can do that the most time.
Yep, I like that plan.
Can you imagine it?
The Conan's wheels are really fun.
And that's the first event.
And that's that's
Just
gonna
fry 'em.
And the second one's the same thing.
Yeah, you gotta walk it backwards.
You don't get to see a Conan's wheel all that often because not a lot of people have the equipment. I know like Classic Strongman has it.
Yep.
So you've seen it in their shows here and there, but not a lot of people have a Conan's wheel. So it's a really fun one to be able to give to people.
Yep.
And it's a challenging event. It's an event that you can head out to.
And I've got 3 of them.
We got a whole bunch of them. Yeah. You can go out to Devin's gym in St. Malo training grounds and go practice with it. I urge people to do that because you can practice on your own by carrying a yoke and a Zerchers carry, and that's great. But it's not the same.
It's not the same.
And you're going to want to get a feel for it because you really have to. I'll give a hot tip to our competitors who are listening. When you're walking in a circle, you really have to limit the length of your stride.
Yes.
You cannot take long strides with it because you'll walk outside of the circle and it'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
And I learned that training for some time ago.
Conan's wheel is like a 15-minute city.
What does that mean?
No, that's one of those conspiracy things.
What's a 15-minute city?
It's what they're doing now. They're making 15-minute cities. So they're trying to make these cities now where everything is within a 15-minute walk or transit ride. And then if you go outside of that, you get charged like a carbon tax for pollution. And what do you think that's for? Population control.
Population control.
Think about it.
Of course. Yes.
Oh, we can control inside and outside of getting in and out of everything. Yeah, think of that. Next pandemic. Anyways, next event. I actually believe that shit, though. So,
okay, the next event in no particular order.
Hand in hand with the Conan's wheel, Viking press.
Viking press.
Yeah.
You'll notice that the Viking press and the Conan's wheel use the same implement.
Oh, man.
So we're getting a little clever here with how we plan stuff to make sure that we make things easier on our St. Malo crew who are out there the night before loading all this stuff up onto Devin's flatbed. So
yeah.
But Viking press is a really, really fun event. I really think I'm looking forward to that because it's one again that like I like a Viking press for the same reason that I like log and stuff too. Like I like log because you have to clean it. It's very challenging. I like Viking press because there's no clean involved.
Yeah.
I like that it's just a completely different press where it's just your shoulder strength and it's just seeing how many reps you can get.
And the Viking's it's favorable to men because there's no clean and women are used to cleaning.
Oh my goodness gracious. Devin Penner, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I got to work with over here.
Where's Jan? Is she here?
Yeah,
this is finger again.
That's the petty side.
Yeah. So we've hit the conspiracy side. we've hit the conservative side.
The misogynist.
The misogynist. I'm almost done. I think.
Yeah, I'm almost done. So Viking press. We're looking forward to that. Viking press for reps. Conan wheel for distance. That's number 3.
Axle wagon wheel deadlift.
Axle wagon wheel deadlift.
If you're like, oh, no repeat events. Listen, mofos. Vita's axle from the floor.
From the floor, you
deficit. If you keep beaking.
Fucking pieces of garbage. Don't worry about what we're doing over here, all right? No, we got those beautiful wagon wheels that we had.
I see Garrett. He's like, sure hope the sink's for the pick, and he's lifting up the straw metal wheels he bought.
And I utilized the new shaking head emoji when I sent him that one. Yeah. No, but here we go. You get it for provincials. We have these beautiful wagon wheels that we had made for nationals last year.
Yep.
And goddamned if we're not going to get our money's worth on them.
Yeah.
So we're going to use those. We'll be running a head-to-head competition in that one in some capacity, whether it's weight class or different classes or whatever.
Yeah.
And
that's one we can do head-to-head, same weight class.
Yeah, for sure.
To spice things up, which is nice. Yeah.
I like being able to do that.
Yeah.
And we got
that's the thing. Corners wheel, head-to-head.
Yeah.
Because they have same weight class we can run.
Yeah.
Viking press, head-to-head.
Head-to-head.
Axle wagon wheel deadlift, head-to-head.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. It'll be a fun competition with
4 or
with
5
a lot
events will be head-to-head.
Yeah, with a lot of running up against your opponents, which will be fun.
Yeah. 4th event, sandbag to shoulder.
Sandbag to shoulder, not one that we've seen very often here.
We've never done it.
Yeah, sure. We've never
done it. Nope.
I can't think of the last time that I've even done that in Cuba. I guess actually, I just did it in a competition. But I don't.
Was that your last comp you just did?
Yeah, but it actually it was. But you don't do it very often. It's not one that you see very often, and we're going to do
because it takes a lot of equipment.
Yep.
Like, it's only bags. Well, yeah, but it's a lot of freaking sand.
A lot of sand, motherfuckers. Yeah. So we're gonna do 3 ascending bags.
Yeah.
And then the last one will be for reps.
Yeah.
We've got all the weights figured out, which was that was going to be the biggest part of that. So we have that figured out, and we'll be posting the weights. So this is going to come out on Saturday. Let's say by Monday we'll put the weights out there, just so people have them. And
last event.
Let's go.
Which will be last in the comp. We're going to run this one last.
Okay.
Just because of hand situations.
Oh right. Yes. Yes. We didn't do a mystery event for this one.
No, we haven't yet. No.
Oh well. Okay. No mystery event for.
No mystery event. Last event. Frame carry. Head-to-head, 80 feet.
80 feet with Devin's fucking hand-ripping ass.
Gnarly ass face.
Yeah. His callus tearing,
I ran that shit like
ripping,
nothing.
Finger losing.
Might even come out of retirement just for that event.
That'll be a rough one, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch because those frames are really hard.
Yeah.
And so but if you have a good grip, they won't slip.
They're head-to-head, baby.
Yep, I like that one.
Yeah, we got head-to-head woman and men's frames on that.
Nice, awesome.
So that'll be sweet.
That's great. I love to see it. Love hearing that.
Primo.
That'll be really fun.
Mint.
So there's your events for and that's just so everyone knows, that's a favor that Devin is doing for you by putting frame last.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, your hand's gonna rip on those frames.
That's why I put it last. We should do a third. No, Devin.
Your hands are going to rip.
Be nice.
So he's by not making you do anything else afterwards. It's a pretty nice thing.
It's a little different because we got Conan's moving, but a different type moving. You got for frame.
Sure.
Sandbag to shoulder, something we've never done, so it's not really a
precedent with that one.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Viking press is, there's certain guys who are good at it, and there's certain guys who don't set their heights right and hit the ground.
Yeah.
Which we'll go over those rules with that whole hit the ground shit.
We're going to figure that out, and we're going to have hardline rules for that.
Yeah.
That was something that I was talking to about with Thrones a little bit, is that I want to have, I want to find a balance between, let's say, absolute Wild West chaos and then, say the way powerlifting is, where it's very regimented and very strict and very specific.
Yes, yeah.
I don't necessarily want to go as far as that when it comes to planning stuff and getting stuff going, because it's that. I think it kind of sucks some of the fun out of what strongman is, which is a little looser in that way.
We could put together a pamphlet on our link tree on our Strong Manitoba with every event that we host, frame carry farmers, with the general rules of equipment allowed,
right?
And then so distance, it doesn't matter because that'll change based on the comp.
Yeah.
But for Viking press, these are the general rules that we're going to follow every comp.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Here's the standards you need to lift to.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable.
We're softer on deadlift reps. I know there were reps I was given this weekend where it wasn't IPF strict, but who gives a shit?
That's what it is. Yeah. And we're going to, and like I want to have something for like our referees too.
Yeah.
To have something where it's just like this is what we expect of you, of like firmly what you expect of you, what you can expect from us, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And just have a, like I said, I don't want it to be as strict as powerlifting is, because I think that kind of takes some of the fun out of it. But I do want it to be more strict than just some competitions I've done.
Speaking of reffing, shout out to Dan, first time reffing there at Tolstoy on the weekend.
First time refereeing a non-novice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And great job.
Yeah.
Me and him were calling a bit different, like in terms of how long we're making people sit at the bottom.
Right.
And I brought that up to guys who were like, well, Dan's calling it way slow. Like, I'm calling up. But so what I was waiting for, every time I was watching the frame, I was watching their lockout, and then I'd wait till the front of the frame touched the grass.
Right.
So guys who stayed pre-tension half up, I would make them drop.
And to be clear, we ran different weight classes.
That's exactly it. So me and Dan ran a little separate, but every weight class was in just a whole weight class would be just in my lane,
right?
And he had a different one, so it was consistent inside of the weight classes,
right? Yeah,
and
so
that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all we ask.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have Big Gordy reffing at Manitoba Strongest Man, which I'm excited for too. He did a great job. No, he did the novice competition.
He did the novice
because Dan's done it once before, but I forget what. But
he wants to get more involved with promoting and helping. And
Gord did a great job with the novice comp, and I know he'll do great at Manitoba Strongest too. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. Which is good because I'm getting older, so I'll need someone to help take over.
Well, that's the thing. We're gonna be you'll be dead soon. So
even speaking of that, I mean,
we need some young blood like Gord in there to
next year. Like next year, I can tell you, I won't be doing this many shows.
No,
like I'm at that age. I'm not that age. My daughters are at the age now.
Sure, that's
where
it's not where you're at. It's where everyone else around you is
I've sacrificed so many years for this, building the sport since 2017, and then years of my competing, and I'm to the point where I've got maybe 2-3 years left for my kids want to hang out with me.
Yeah,
like,
and then we'll have lots of strongman shows
like
after
that's
that.
The thing, like, Morgan's turning 14 tomorrow, or the day this airs, she's 14. Caden's turning 12 in 2 weeks, and like last night I was hanging out with. I promised Caden a bike ride this week. I haven't even been able to go yet, and she's mad at me. Oh yeah, and so last night I got home, and I got home late again. Well, late. I got home at 6. But I had shit to do in the garage. I'm like, hey, can you come help me work in the golf cart? I had it disassembled because I'm getting it airbrushed, and she's like, yeah. So we're working together for about an hour. She helped me clean stuff out of the garage, my load equipment stuff, and then I go inside. It's 8:30, and then she comes to me after. She's like, "Hey, thanks for spending time with me today, Dad." And I'm like, "But we worked in the garage to help me." She's like, "Yeah, but you at least still spent time with me."
Did you cry?
Oh, I'm like, I felt this big, and I'm like, oh, and I've been thinking this for a while already. I haven't talked about it, but I'm thinking like I really need to take a step back from. I'm involved in 10 events again this year
for sure.
So next year I'm going to be dialing it back to with Deadlift for Dreams, maybe 5 events.
Yeah.
So there'll be shows I'm going to pull out of, and I'll let you guys run.
Yeah, we'll figure it
and,
out.
Just because
the competitive season will look the same for Manitoba.
It'll look the same. Yeah. I just won't be at the shows.
Yeah.
Certain ones. I know my athletes might be mad, but it's like I'm building a house next year.
Also,
I've got this.
Yeah.
I've got 3 other companies. I'm getting deeper in the real estate. I've got those partners. I've got money partners I got to worry about.
Between me and the listeners, Devin will still definitely go because he won't be able to stay away. So
the control freak you.
Yeah, he'll still be there.
I'm also in counseling to work on this for next year. But yeah, just that'll be happening next year. I'll have to step back from
that's
some.
fair, and we'll. Yeah. Obviously we'll miss having your presence there, but we'll make it fly, and you'll still be there a lot too. So I have my little show notes here.
Ben Thompson. He's out here today.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's hitting a bomber game and stuff. Yeah,
nice.
He's bringing my shoes that I forgot there at the Thunder Bay bench shop.
Tremendous. So we are. I'm gonna say we're pretty much sold out on the Lucas Hatton seminar. There's one more spot left, but I might just find someone to give that to, like a younger lifter, maybe one of the teen guys. I'll give the Lucas Hatton seminar. So
I could think of 1 or 2 that would. Oh yeah, has any of our teens signed up?
No, so I'd be happy to give one of them the spot and whatever. Yeah. So let's say that Lucas Hatton seminar sold out. You missed out. Sorry, too bad. You're not going to learn what everyone else gets to learn. So we're really excited about that. June 22nd. Everybody who hit me up for that, I really appreciate it because it was a lot of people who are newer. Yeah. A lot of people from different gyms. A lot of people from out of town who are going to be driving in for it. It really means a lot to me that because I like that this isn't like done as a business move. It's just done as like a community thing, and it really means a lot to see the community come together and make something like this work.
And I know people who sacrifice to get like times are tough with inflation. Money's different.
Absolutely, dude.
Like I get it. As we're getting ready to.
But a strongman season is already expensive for a lot of people, and it means a lot for people to feel like this is worth their while. So thank you to everybody who signed up for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, though. Speaking of opportunities to spend your money, Devin has a really, really exciting seminar coming up in his gym.
Yes, I do.
We haven't announced it yet. It's been booked. It's somebody that I'll give you a little preamble on this, and then Devin can. It's somebody that we met at the Arnold's.
Yeah.
He did a speech before. Speech is the wrong word.
In
But
the
he did a little presentation in the athletes meeting beforehand, talking about nutrition and stuff. And me and Devin didn't really know.
I had maybe heard of this guy.
Yeah, we weren't really aware who he was. I was sitting next to Josh Spurgeon, who explained to me that this guy in his field, he's the fucking guy.
Yeah, and
he's the man.
We never heard of him. I'm like, what have I been hiding under a rock?
And you see the list of guys that he's worked with. We'll get more into that afterwards, but please go ahead and announce your seminar.
July 20th, Training Grounds Gym. My first time host seminar at my gym. I'm excited.
Yes.
Nathan Payton is joining us. So for those of you who don't know him, he has been the coach to 8 World's Strongest Man titles for the nutrition.
8 World's Strongest Man titles and a ton of podiums, a ton of finalists.
He's been on the podium for the last 14 years. His athletes. So this year he coached Tom Stoltman again.
Yep.
Evan Singleton.
Yep.
He's coached Lisi's.
I saw Schoonwinkle just jumped on with him too. Post WSM, he saw how these guys are doing.
Yep.
I think that
he's worked with Brian Shaw.
Singleton
was with him this year.
Yep.
The guy is smart. I've listed some of his seminars now. Just getting because when we met him at Arnold's, we both went and talked to him afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to get you out for a seminar.
Yeah, that was our first thought. Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, I would love to. I'm like, oh, like he's certain guys are like, oh, I'm X dollars, and if I have time, this guy's like, no, man, I will make this work.
He was awesome.
I couldn't believe it. So I've been mashing him since, and me being the dumbass I am, he sends me the price. I'm like, it's not bad at all. I just book it and pay for it. Look at my receipt. Oh, cock. That was in U.S. funds.
USD, baby.
Like, well, I'm gonna eat some crow on this one.
And I kind of started. I feel like sometimes we talk too much about what things cost and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But just know that this is being done by somebody who's just trying to help the community because it's going to be very, very difficult for Devin to make his money back on this.
Oh, yeah, if we have 40 people, I still lose money.
So if you're at all entertaining the idea of taking your nutrition to the next game. To the next level, and I don't just mean in strongman. I mean in powerlifting.
This guy works with
general
football
athletics.
players.
Yeah, he's
just professional or entrepreneurs. Anybody who wants to function at a high level.
Yeah,
their life.
If you watch, I've been kind of going back and watching some of the old Arnold's and World's Strongest Man and stuff, and you'll just see there's this guy in the background. I think he looks a little older than he actually is, just because he has a big gray beard.
Dude, he looks yeah.
And we all know something about that over here. But you'll see a small guy in the background with a big gray beard, like a wizard's beard, and you're probably like, who the fuck is that guy? Who is this guy?
He looks like an older, more withered Pat next to Tom Stoltman.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you
without a light bright.
You would see him and you'd be like, who is this guy? Why is he always here? Who is this man? And then you find out that he's working with all the guys who are winning these competitions.
Yeah,
he's working with the best athletes in the world to make them even better, and it's a really, really fun, exciting opportunity for a seminar that's not just going to be about the lifting side of things, because we've had that a few times already.
Yeah.
So it's fun to have this new avenue to discover, and I really urge guys to get in contact with Devin. We'll say, is registration officially open then?
Yeah, I'm gonna
okay.
Actually, our buddy that was working on the poster, he just sent me. I just asked for revisions. I'll probably post it yet tonight, if not tomorrow morning.
Awesome.
I give you a little breakdown of what's going to happen. It's going to be 3 hours, give or take, plus a full Q&A afterwards. Focus big time on performance enhancement nutrition. So not everyone's like, oh,
PENs.
Yeah, but it's about insulin manipulation in the body and how he helps diabetics with their insulin sensitivity.
Awesome.
Guys he's worked with, I'll give you a little Brian Shaw, Stoltman, Martins Lisi's, Eddie Hall, Singleton, Luke Stoltman, Bobby Thompson, Trey Mitchell. He helped Trey Mitchell. He sent me a brief thing here with him and Trey Mitchell on getting him back 6 months after surgery for full Achilles rupture off the bone. So his big thing is he does individualized nutrition optimization, how to leverage foods, lifestyle factors, supplementation, and timing to maximize the impact on your unique biology and goals, and then manipulating insulin and insulin sensitivity, data-driven approaches. Like, this isn't just a seminar for strength or for strongmen.
No.
This should be, and I'm hoping that we have some MPA guys listening. Like, this is for MPA, for powerlifting coaches, for football coaches, for hockey coaches, for any coach who has a higher level or any athlete who wants to. Like, I know Janelle, when I told her, she's like, absolutely, I'm showing up. Because she does a lot of nutrition.
Somebody who came to my mind right away.
Bodybuilding coaches, like, this is a guy who's he's got his doctorate from, man, I want to say something like, it's a high level university he was at.
Yeah.
Dude's a smart dude.
Yeah, he's very, very intelligent. And like I said, he's a nutritionist that you see often on the field of play with competitors.
Yeah.
So that's how crucial he is to their competition, is that he's there with them while they compete.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing. And I'm really excited for that seminar. I'm really looking forward to that, and I really hope that everybody jumps on that one. And if you don't, more time for us to learn from him.
Exactly.
Because that's going to be one
yeah.
that's going to be one that you're really going to be missing the boat if you don't see it.
I'm usually like, I don't want to drive the city, but when he flies in, he's like, I'll take care of transportation. I'm like, I might just come pick you up.
And just talk
so
to
I
you.
could pick your brain for an hour on the rides there and back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you over for barbecue, and I'm working on getting him on the podcast too.
Tremendous. I hope that happens.
Because his table talk episode with Dave Tate has over 200,000 views.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really, really excited for that one. That's going to be a really big deal.
Yeah.
I'll take this opportunity then, actually.
Yep.
Then, so on June 22nd, when we have the seminar for with Lucas Hatton, afterwards, he's going to sit with me and we're going to do a podcast with him.
Yep.
So look forward to that, an interview with Arnold's UK podium finisher, America's Strongest Man.
I can't be there, which sucks balls.
Yeah, Devin won't be there, so it'll be just me and
I got a
Lucas,
wedding at 4 o'clock that
me and my
day.
new best friend, Lucas Hatton, just chatting it up. Okay, so following that, we also had another big announcement. Like, this has been a week of just a whirlwind of
We even said, do we
announcements.
hold off some of these announcements? Well, no, they need to get out there.
But it's all stuff that's pertinent and relevant, and next week it'll be a week old, right? So what I wanted to go over quickly, too, was the Strongman Corp Canada Nationals events.
Yes.
We'll keep this one pretty brief, but we have the Ascending Max Log, which is a really interesting event that you don't normally see at a big competition like that.
That is, when I was reading the rules, I'm like, that is interesting.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to see. Just I think there's a lot of AM guys who have really huge log presses.
Yeah.
And so it'll be fun to see how many of these guys where it's like, oh shit, that's a guy who should be doing some pro stuff. You
we
know
have
what I mean?
AMs that are definitely outpressing a lot of the pros.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Myself included. We have an arm over arm pull, which again is not one that you see super often in a big.
But I love the twist they have on it.
What is it? I don't even know.
That you have to you're pulling it to you, and then you got to jump up and back drag it back to the start line.
Oh God.
So it helps the loaders.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, the cop runs faster.
Salmon Max.
I was
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's that's.
I was reading that and I'm like, bravo.
Yep, that is genius. Good for them. Good
well
for them.
done.
Number 3, car deadlift, old standby. Everyone loves a car deadlift. Can't beat that one for videos and pictures. 4, sandbag medley. Okay, so I don't know the sandbag, steeplechase, and sandbag for distance.
So if I'm correct, you got to throw 2 bags over. Do you got to load or throw?
It says athletes will carry one of the 2 first sandbags halfway down the course and load it over a bar. Then make it says its way, but I'm sure they meant to say their way around the bar and carry it down the course over the line.
No, it's 2024. That's it.
And we'll do the same with the second sandbag. Once the second sandbag is over the line, the athlete will then proceed to carry the third bag, the Inukshuk bag, for distance until time runs out.
The Inukshuk bar. You guys got to check your speed.
Athlete will get points from each bag completed with a distance to minimize time.
2 bags over bar, and then you got to pick up this Inukshuk bag, which is it looks like Pat.
It looks exactly
same
like
height,
Pat.
same leverages.
Oh my God.
You got to pick up Pat.
It looks exactly like
But that
Pat.
bag has a bigger package. You can see the bulge in the bag at least. And then you got to do a max distance.
Wow.
Afterwards.
That's going to be a rough one for some people.
Glutes are fired up.
For some of those open weight men, boy,
yeah,
I don't know about that
posterior
one.
chain's fired up. You know some guys are going to miss the load and have to repick that bag just because of getting hyper.
Yep.
Ugh.
And then we got a stone series, it says. So athletes will begin with hands on platform at the initial whistle. You got a nice run. It says max stone over bar. I guess it's just the heaviest you can get. I'm looking forward to seeing what the weights are for that one though.
Yeah, must no bulldogging. Cannot put hands on platform to push the stone. Oh,
I don't get that one.
That's it. Just adds a whole danger factor into there.
Does it though? By doing that?
No. By not letting it.
That's kind of what I think too.
Yeah.
Someone will have to explain that one to me. I'm sure they have a good reason for it.
Yeah.
But it's just never made sense to me why you can't do I guess they call it bulldogging. I've never heard that term before, but where you
I've heard
hold
prairie
on to the
dogging.
thing. Yeah, I do that
Story
all
of
the
my
time.
life.
I was doing that right before we sat down here. But I that one just it really mystifies me why that's not allowed, especially just for the shorter athletes.
And you see a lot of people. Exactly. You got an event that's very height dependent.
Right.
You got that's very. The tall guys always do better.
Right. It just kind of takes away a tool from the shorter guys.
And not even that. You're getting into such a thoracic extension position with the stone, which puts a lot of pressure on the diaphragm. You're losing air,
Yeah.
and guys start losing
Yeah.
consciousness. And then when you're hitting that bar, that platform, hopefully they have their platforms anchored if they're not letting you bulldog, or else the platform wiggles.
Right.
And for the shorter guys, they're flexing, and then they go to sleep, and they get injured.
Yeah. If you have an understanding as to why it's a safety issue, please put it in the comments because I'd be very curious to know that.
Yeah.
Also, put in the comments people that are taller than Pat. What are things that are taller than Pat? I would say like Papa Smurf. He's a little taller than Pat is.
A garden gnome.
Yeah, that's a little taller than Pat. The bug from A Bug's Life. That's a little taller than Pat.
Yes, the ladybug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that in the comments too, please, if you don't mind. Actually.
Riddle. Worse than my fat ones, you shitheads.
There better be more comments for
Tried
Pat
giving
than for
myself
Devin.
liposucks with a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, Devin's gonna be really upset.
And if you don't know Pat, our listeners in Australia, look him up, Patrick Gregoire on Instagram.
Yeah,
you'll be able to see.
He's a monster. So we're coming up on.
Send him a DM. Send him dick pics.
Send him a picture
Someone,
of your wiener.
please send him a dick pic.
He would love that.
Yeah, I know one guy that probably will. It's gonna be Garrett, but.
So we're coming up. We're already in the last, or almost finishing the last real training week of Manitoba's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
We're coming up on June 8th in Morris, Rumble at the Valley. And I think we'll have a little bit of fun with this here. I want to put you on the spot here. For the women's and the men's, I want your podium for the two.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, that's right.
In no particular order.
No, I want your podium. I want third, second, and first.
Oh man, I haven't thought about the women. I would say podium for the woman. Let me just make sure I'm not I want to see who's on the list.
Yeah, for sure. That's
just so I don't screw this up. Man, why do you do this? I got a lot of people I coach. Now I'm gonna have people on to fight me again.
And that's this is not an indictment of anyone.
Okay, woman. So who do we got?
Purely what you think.
I'm gonna list off our women.
Okay.
So Ariel, Mara, Jocelyn, Abby, Anna. Muriel actually just pulled out.
Yeah.
Kelly, so Michelle. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 7 women. Man, I'm not gonna lie. 5 or 6 of these are podium people.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree.
At any given
Yep.
event, it depends on the event list.
How about this? I'll go one further. 5 or 6 of these are podium people. 5 or 6 of these are first place winners too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This all depends on.
It's really how they show up that day.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with it.
No deadlift throws a big wrench in things.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I know who would win the deadlifts.
Yep.
And I know who would sacrifice a bunch of points to the deadlifts.
Yep.
I would say in no particular.
No, in order.
No,
don't say
Holy
this.
Shit.
None of this no particular order bullshit.
Okay, for my athletes, because I am coaching. I'm coaching half these girls. That's just unfair, man. I think
I'm gonna give mine too. I'll give mine too.
you will give yours.
Yep.
And we'll be biased to our athletes here. I'll tell you that much. What I would like to see, what I think Mara's a front runner for podium again, or for first place.
Okay.
That'll depend on how healthy she comes in. I think she's there. I think second place. Oh, there's a toss up here between 3 I could think of. I honestly think yes, because who's last year? Kelly. Not who's the one that was last year. Who won?
Who won?
Your girl,
Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah, she's not there. So
No.
I keep seeing Kelsey and Kelly.
Yeah,
So I'm mixing that in my head. Oh man, I'm gonna lose clients over this. I think second place is going to be a toss-up between Jocelyn, Anna, and Ariel.
Okay.
But Michelle, because there's no deadlift, Michelle loses points on that because Michelle would win that deadlift.
That helps Anna too.
Yes, I know that.
Her deadlift's not as good as the other
Anna
girls.
would place one of the bottom ones in the deadlift, where Michelle would win the deadlift, in my opinion. Well, she would. There's no one with but there are bigger deadlifts with her there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say. I'd say Jocelyn, Anna, and Ariel are going to fight for second, third, and fourth.
Okay.
But Jocelyn might surprise me, and Austin, I don't whatever.
This
You
I
know what?
I
Hate
am.
me. Oh, you're a cocksucker. I just want you to know that. The guys don't even feel bad. I'll call it any guy there is.
Exactly. I'll say that.
But
no
now
problem.
I have and I got to
I
deal
know.
with all the emotions.
Isn't that funny that I have no
and
problem?
the husbands.
I'll tell the guys they suck, no problem.
What do you think?
This is going to be biased because it's but I honestly, this is me going by the events that I actually think I think that Anna will win because she's great at the circus dumbbell. She's getting.
I believe she'll win the circus dumbbell.
Yes, I think so too. She's getting good at bench press, where she won't drop a ton of points on that one. I think she can get third or fourth in that one.
Okay.
Her arm over arm is really good. With lighter weights, we've been practicing it, and her technique is really, really, really strong.
Yep.
If it holds up against heavy weights, we're going to find out, but I think that it will. Her yoke is pretty good. She's quick. She's athletic.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know that she'll win that one, but I think that she'll do well enough in it.
To hold points,
Yeah, and she's a good stone loader, too. So
I don't know Anna other than her pressing.
She did 215 for 6 last year at Manitoba's. Like
Yes,
she's a strong stone loader.
Yeah.
She's stronger this year than she was last year. She's a young competitor who's like every year she's way stronger than she was the year before. Whereas some of these ladies, a lot of these ladies would be in our Masters division if they so chose. And so the gains come a little slower.
A bunch of them are.
Yeah.
Actually, over half of our women's division is Masters.
Yes.
So the only reason I give it to Mara is based on comp experience.
Experience, for sure.
Being able to just pull it off when she needs to, in a sense. Yeah.
I would say second place. So I'm going to go Anna, second place Mara, and only because I think that the arm over arm and stones will affect Ariel's standings at the end.
Yes.
I would put Jocelyn in front of Ariel, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that in a different competition with different events, that's completely
because
changed.
Ariel has shorter arms
Yep.
and a shorter range of motion, and that affects.
Yep.
Besides Pat somehow pulling it out because he's just explosive, but
Jocelyn is Ariel is really, really strong.
Yeah.
But it's not. She's a big woman.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so when we look at like
I shouldn't say Michelle because Ariel's got a wicked deadlift.
Yeah, Ariel does too.
Yeah, I don't know if Michelle out deadlifts Ariel.
I think Ariel might have her on that one.
It could be, yeah.
But it's close.
Yeah.
And
way to lose me 3 clients. That's cool.
But we've said this from jump, and we'll keep covering our asses that if we had the same roster of competitors and we picked 2 different events, it could completely change this.
It completely does. Yeah.
So if we take out the arm, if we take out the second press and put in a deadlift, or if we take out the circus dumbbell and put in a farmer's carry, whatever, it completely changes.
So now let's go to the guys.
Absolutely,
now you want to hurt some feelings.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get the guys.
You go first this time.
Okay.
Since I'm still trying to send out messages here, and apologies before the episode airs.
I'm gonna say me, Dan, Pat.
In that order.
Yep. That's what I would lean towards. I think that it's not out of the question that Dan or Pat could unseat me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd be kind of an idiot if I didn't think that I was going to go in winning.
To be honest, I have the same 3 on the podium.
Yeah.
But I don't know in what order.
Okay. So but you have to pick though.
Because of how unseating it could be.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how Dan's doing because I haven't seen him since Arnold's.
Well,
he's coaching differently now, so there's different technique involved. I think Dan wins the circus dumbbell.
Yep, I think so too.
And I think you're a close second.
But
just
to
get points.
But it really depends on how everyone shows up that day. Because Bushi's hit 205 in the gym.
Yep.
Brian's hit 180. Maybe on comp day he's fired up. He hits 200.
There's a big difference. I'm a big advocate that people do better in the gym than comp. Where I always did better in comp than the gym because I saved that peak.
I always do better.
And you're the same. Yeah. So that I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
I think in circus dumbbell, I think you and Dan are definitely the front runners for that. I don't know how Andrew's going. I know he bonked himself in the head, so he's probably a bit stupid now.
I think he's hit just sub 200.
Yeah. So
but again, it's like day of. Who the fuck knows?
You two are front runner for that. Yoke, you're good. You've done 1,000-pound yoke. Yeah. Bush is also around with 1,000 pounds.
Bush has been doing really well with yoke.
Brian's really fast.
Dan's fast.
Dan is fast.
Pat was struggling a little bit with
Pat
it.
struggles with the yoke.
Yeah.
That event is not his.
Yeah.
That I would think he's still going to be top 7, top 8.
Oh,
he'll drop points based on that.
And that's the thing is that I think that if we look at the events like just individually, I don't think that me or Dan drop too much. Yeah. On any
arm
one
over
event.
arm is going to be
arm over arm will be a good one for say Pat's and there's going to be a lot of guys who it's like if they've been practicing it they're going to do well on it. Yeah. Arm over arm's never been a great one for me. Never terrible. I think
you're kind of mid to front, but you're never.
I think I got 3rd or 4th at it at Magnus last year.
Yeah, and Pat lost to Holtz by like half a second.
And that's what I'm saying. Pat killed it there.
Yeah.
So it's hard to really predict exactly how that'll go.
Brian Andrew long limbs like you guys have.
Yep.
That helps.
That will depend. Theirs will be entirely dependent on the practice.
We're doing that tonight.
Yeah, it'll be entirely dependent on the practice that they put into it. Because it's easy, or sorry, it's having long limbs is one thing.
Yeah.
But if you can't put it in all together, it's just whatever. So
I think I don't know. Yeah, my podium, and Dan might. If there's not a bag through either.
I know I'm fucking
it's going to be
pissed
you.
there's
It's
no
going to be.
back there, no front
I
carry.
believe it's going to be you, Pat, and Dan in podium. I still believe you have it. I don't know if they can unseat you yet. I don't think so. I think you're able. And don't take offense, but your numbers in the gym aren't always impressive.
No.
Like to what I'm lifting, they are. Like, I haven't hit the numbers you've hit. But there's lots of guys in the sport in our province
For sure.
who can outlift you.
Absolutely.
In every lift in the gym, someone in our sport can outlift you.
Yep.
But come game day, you're kind of like I classify you as Mara. That's why I don't cut Mara to podium or first.
Right.
Because your experience matters.
Right.
Being able to control emotions,
Yep.
being able to be calculated,
Yep.
being able to know when to throttle back and lose a point to gain 4 in the next event.
Right.
That stuff matters.
Yep.
And the young guys don't know that.
Yeah, I think I
There's manipulation in the sport without, and there is. There is manipulation in the events.
yeah. I think that I have one more year. I think
Yeah.
I have one more year as Manitoba's strongest man, and I'm not saying I won't get it next year, but I think that I have one more where I am right now, Manitoba's strongest man. I think, and then next year,
It's going to be.
I don't know.
Like I always
I
said,
don't
they're
know.
closing the gap faster than you can widen it.
Yeah, like next year we're gonna have Langelar will have a whole year more of
Yeah.
practice.
Brian will have all your practice.
Brian,
Bushi.
Jeremy, Bushi will
Jeremy.
be back in it.
Yeah.
There's gonna be and Dan is not even starting to slow down in his
Yeah.
progress, and Pat too. And there's gonna be a whole bunch of guys who are gonna be either knocking at my door or just kicking it right fucking down.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited, but I do believe that I have one more year.
Just
in
go out
me.
like me and end on the top and retire quick.
I should just stop right now. Hey, yeah. What do we have for time here? We're pretty good here, I think. Eh? So
Yeah, I got
let's, you gotta get out of here. Okay,
got
let's
Colts to do.
go. Let's really fast go give a quick rundown here. So this week or next a week from today, as this airs, we're in Morris for Manitoba's Strongest Man and Woman. Please come check it out. It's going to be a great time. We've said it a million times.
Oh, free entrance to the Strongman Show. People asked me, and I said you had to pay. You don't. You have to pay
Hey.
for the tractor pull, which I hope all you guys come and support that. They're paying us money to be there.
Yep.
Checks out the tractor pull, hits the food trucks, buy some beer.
I'm gonna be there after a full day of competition and stuff. So I hope that people who are just kind of
You're coming to tractor pull?
Yep, I'm gonna
Me too. Good.
take that in.
Yeah.
Come check it out. Have some fun.
Yep.
And all that stuff, please. We got June 22nd. We have the Lucas Hatton seminar. If you're signed up for it, great. If you're not, tough luck.
Yep.
We have goodness gracious. We have August 3rd. We have the Magnus Classic qualifier, which is going to looking better and better as the days go by. Looking more and more fun. August 10th, we have provincials. We got Winkler. I'm trying to do two things at once here. We got Winkler, Manitoba. We got provincials. We've said it a million times. It's like the Mecca of Manitoba Strongman.
Yeah.
And also later on in September, we have Deadlift for Dreams.
Yes.
Let's give a quick update on our number for Deadlift for Dreams here.
What do you got?
We are currently sitting at 16%. We've hit the $10,000 mark. We're at $10,153.96.
Yeah.
That's huge. $10,000, and we're 98 days away from this. That's that's amazing.
I had one of my emails get answered. Might have another corporate sponsor jumping on too. One of the builders I deal with. So
Tremendous.
I'll wait to.
Oh, that's great. That's so great. We're doing great things as a whole, as the lifting community.
Absolutely.
It's so nice to see everyone coming together and doing this. And thank you to everybody who's raising money. Thank you to everybody who's lifting. Thank you to everybody who's just donating. My hat's off.
Keep going,
to
you
everybody.
guys.
Yep. Keep
It's
doing
for a
it.
close friend of mine's daughter as well, so it's close to home for me.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it. And come out the day of. Damn right. Great event.
Come hang out and have some fun.
Yeah, Massnomics might even plan another trip, he said. And that could be lies, but...
We said it, though. And with that, I think we'll...
Nope, July 20th, Nathan Payton Seminar.
Oh, Nathan. Okay,
Yep.
Make sure you get signed up for that. Hit up Devin.
Yep.
Hit up Devin or talk to me or whoever. It doesn't matter, but just get signed up for it, and
Yep.
we'll get that figured out. And with that, we didn't touch on it last week, and I really want to say it quickly. I wish that we'd said it last week.
Yes.
We lost a long-standing member of the strongman community.
Yes.
I didn't know him all that well, to be honest with you. I a guy that I'd heard his name a lot, seen him around, competed with him against him, I think once maybe.
Yep.
Scott Wallace passed away.
Yeah, I knew him. Yep.
Yeah, you want to?
Great. Yeah, I met him back in Casa now, so 2016. Met him in a hot tub with his parents. Believe it or not, we're chatting. He had a battle with cancer here for the last couple of years, and I'm telling you, I have never seen a man fight like that.
Yeah, it was
they gave him months, and he lasted years.
Yeah.
And he had tumors all over his body, in his like bones, big tumors, big on his neck. He got removed. He beat cancer. He beat, if I'm correct, stage 4. And within a year, it came back and riddled him, and he still lived like another year and a half on that, or year. My numbers were wrong. He fought like unreal. I've never seen. He's got a young boy. His kid plays football, so he's, I think, 14, 15. So, I mean, that kid lost his dad.
Yeah.
He was a prison guard, a great guy. He was very open. You go to his Instagram, he has updates on his cancer. He passed away last week. I'm telling you, man, I've never met a guy who fought like that.
Yeah.
It was unreal. And he was a great guy in the sport. BC Strongest Man 2020, I think it was 2019. Hit the Masters. He lifted weights until like a month or two before he passed away here.
He ran his own gym and
his own supplement store, Crusher Supplements, Crusher's Gym. He did a lot for the sport out there.
Yeah.
So hey, man, he ran the good race.
Yeah. Condolences to the family of the Wallace family, and rest in peace, Crusher.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. See you guys next week.